Well, good morning, everyone. I put on my scuzzy work pants here, and I was going to go work on the camper. I've been gutting out that old camper. I'm going to repair the roof and just use it to store some lumber and stuff in. And I sat here with a cup of coffee, and this is as far as I've gotten. It's been really cold lately. Frost every night. I'm glad I have the hoop house. Plants are still doing well in there. So since I'm sitting here enjoying the morning, I'm going to take this opportunity to bang out another Q&A for you all. I've had lots of questions come into the Facebook page, so I'll try and take a minute and address those questions. When I just posted the last video on the Homestead, and I was talking briefly on the plastic that I use for the hoop house, and I posted the link. I've had a number of people ask me if I was using the woven stuff or the stuff with the cord. I've never used the woven stuff. The stuff that I bought has the nylon cording in it. Now, if I was going to have a permanent hoop house, I would just invest in the UV resistant plastic for that. But since I only put the plastic out for maybe a couple of months, then I put it away, and it doesn't break down from the UV, and I use it for other things, so that cording that's embedded in the plastic really adds a lot of strength to it. It's been working out really good, and I'm going to continue to use it. I've been using that same roll of plastic now for 5 or 6 years. I don't remember the exact company that I bought mine from, but the link I put up, it looks to be the exact same stuff. It's 6 mil. Appears to be the same stuff. If I was going to buy it again, that's where I'd buy it. Since it's gardening season, quite a few folks have asked me what I do about starting my seeds. When I posted the beet green video last year, I showed the styrofoam floating seed trays that I use. I just love the darn things. All I do is I make a frame out of some scrap lumber. I lay in some plastic, I put an old tarp over it, fill it with water, float the seed trays in it. Works out great. Normally when you're starting seeds in those little cups, those cups dry out real quick. You're continually watering them, and keeping them moist is what's going to really help them get going. By floating them in the water, it's maintenance free. Now in the past, I set up a table in my shed. I made a frame of 2x4s on top of the table, and I floated the seed trays under grow lights. I had the wood stove going in there. I got a real early start on the garden that year. I've seen other types of floating seed trays that have round cells, but I prefer these. These are tapered. As you can see, they get smaller down at the bottom. And because of that design, it's really easy to pull your root balls out of here. As you can see, this isn't all beat up from me fussing with it. I just reach in with a knife and I just turn it, and they pop right out really easy. These are a great design, and as you can see, they're holding up really well. I bet you they'll last me a long, long time. I learned this method with the floating seed trays from a guy in Kentucky quite a few years ago when I owned my forum. He did extensive gardening, and he was doing the floating seed tray, so I inquired about it, and he sent me these, and these are the same ones that I'm using. Like I do with the plastic, when I'm done using them, I put them in the shed. These have held up really good. I'll probably be using the same seed trays for the rest of my life. I highly recommend them. It's the easiest method and the best success I've ever used in starting seeds. I probably have about 600 friend requests on my JC Declos Facebook page. I don't do anything with that page. I just don't have the time for it. A lot of folks ask why I don't make more videos. How come I can't post them twice a week? Some folks want me to post a video a day. I don't live in front of the computer. My life is out here, and I don't want a job. I do the YouTube as a hobby. It inspires people to pursue their dreams. I enjoy my interaction with my viewers. But if I try to make a job out of it, I'm not going to like it. I don't have a job. I don't want a job. I like things the way they are. So I will post them when I can post them. Because as soon as I feel like I have to post them, I'm not going to want to do it anymore. So I'm going to kind of avoid that altogether. Now, I've been asked quite a few times how come I don't have chickens anymore and if I plan to get some more. I do. When I settle down, I'll get birds again. I really enjoyed having the birds. They were a lot of fun. I enjoyed going out there in the morning and picking the eggs, and they were pretty silly with the jumping up and down, grabbing things out of my hands. They were a lot of fun, and I miss having them. This is how you make popcorn chicken. But right now, with bouncing back and forth to New Hampshire, getting my homestead ready to sell, I'm not in a good position to raise birds. So later on, when I settle back down, I'm certain I'll get birds again. So another one is, how on earth can I even consider selling the homestead? Won't I miss it? And will I be sorry for selling it? No, I don't think I'll be sorry. I'll probably miss some parts of it. I miss things about all of the places that I've lived at. The homestead is really nice. I've got a nice big yard. I've got my screen house. I've got the beaver pond out front. I've got my gardens. I've got it set up just the way that I want. But it doesn't really offer me all that I expect from it. I enjoy living there, but I'm getting my cabin set up just the way that I want, and I want to spend more times at my cabins, but because I have the homestead, it really holds me back. It's kind of like an anchor that I'm trying to drag around with me. So when I look at it from different perspectives and ask myself, what would I rather have? The money from the sale of the homestead to put into investments and then have all the free time to live my days doing things that I want to do, or keep the homestead, which is just going to hold me back, and then I have all the taxes to pay and all the upkeep and everything involved with its ownership. Having that much capital into investments will help me out immensely. So when I look at it from many, many different perspectives, the idea of selling it certainly comes to the top of the list. So that's what's going to happen. Probably, if everything goes as planned, within a few months it should hit the market. It is possible that I postpone it till next year. I've been moving off of the property little by little, getting things organized as I go so I don't get overwhelmed. But we'll see how it goes. When I do sell it, you will see a complete walkthrough of the house and property, and I will put it up for sale on my channel before it goes to a realtor. Well, I'm out of coffee, so one more before I wrap it up and go work on the camper. Surprisingly, a lot of people ask me if I make my own maple syrup. I've done that one time back in the 80s. It was a fun project, but a friend of mine has a maple syrup business, so I just buy the syrup from him to support his business. I might do it again someday. But a friend of mine named Will over at the Weekend Homestead channel has a few videos on making syrup. Now I'll put the link up above if you want to check that out. So that's about it for today. I'm going to get to work.